Hey everyone, in this video we're going to go through more composite solids and how to find their volume. This video is going to go through how to find the volume of composite solids that involve pyramids, cones, and hemispheres. Okay, so this is the extension part of the Year 10 course. Okay, so the only way to go through this is to just go through some examples. So, find the volume of the following composite solids. Here, for the first question, we have a cylinder, and a hemisphere. So what we have to do to find the volume of the entire composite solid is we've got to find the volume of both parts. I'm going to call the cylinder volume 1, and I'm going to call the hemisphere volume 2. Okay, so the volume of a cylinder is equal to pi r squared h. So you're probably going to need your formulas for this. Pi r squared h, where our radius is actually half of 20, which is 10. So it's going to be pi times 10 squared times our height, which is 35. If we put that in the calculator, we get 10,995.57 to 2 decimal places. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. The next volume, volume 2, is our hemisphere. Now, our hemisphere is half of a sphere, so it's half times our sphere is 4 over 3 pi r cubed. Or if you remember, this is 2 over 3 pi r cubed. Okay, and our radius again is 10. Okay, because this radius here moves up to here. Okay, so this is also 10. So let's sub that in. 2 over 3 times pi times 10 cubed. That equals 2 over 3 times pi times 10 cubed equals 2,094.40 to 2 decimal places. Okay, so now we're not quite done yet. We found the volume of the cylinder, this one here, and we found the volume of the hemisphere. Now we have to add those two together to find the total volume. Okay, so the total volume I'm going to put over here, but you are more than welcome to put it underneath you're working out, is volume 1 plus volume 2, because we're adding on the hemisphere to the cylinder. Okay, so add those two values together. We've got 10,995.57 plus 2,094.40. Okay, add that together. You get approximately 13089, so 13,089.97. Okay, and our units will be centimeters cubed. Okay, so that's our total volume for this question. Okay, the next question is slightly different. It looks like a lampshade, but what it is it's a whole cone minus a smaller cone. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to name the whole cone volume 1 is the large cone, and volume 2 is the smaller cone. And I'll highlight that so that we can remember. So this one's the green part and this one is the red part. Okay, what I'm going to try and do for this one is I'm going to try and leave our answer in exact value. Okay, just so that we can get some practice in leaving it in exact value. But in the Google form, we're not leaving it in exact value because it's just too hard to put in. Okay, so volume 1 is our large cone. So a cone is 1 over 3 pi r squared h. Okay, so it's a third of a cylinder. And that equals 1 over 3 times pi times our radius of the large circle. Okay, so the whole thing is 12. This part is 6, so half of it. So our radius is our diameter divided by 2, which equals 12 divided by 2, which equals 6. So we put 6 squared in here, and we times it by our height. Okay, so we need the height here. Oh, we've been given the slant height, but not the height. Okay, so we need to find the perpendicular height by using a right angle triangle. So I'll draw the right angle triangle here, and we'll do our notes on the side. Okay, so at the bottom it's 6, our radius, and our slant height is 5 plus 5, which is 10. Got a right angle, and we need to find x. Okay, so find this. It will be x squared equals 10 squared minus 6 squared. This equals 100 minus 36, which equals 64. Okay, then we square root that, and x equals 8. Okay, so our height, maybe I should change the x's to h's so that we can be consistent. That's our height, that's our height, that's our height. Okay, so our height for the large cone is 8. So we're going to substitute that 8 in. And then we're going to put it all together. So 6 squared is 36. So 36 times 8 pi. And I'm going to put that all over 3. Okay, so 36 times 8 is 288 over 3 pi. I'm going to leave the pi at the top. And 288 divided by 3 is actually 96, and then pi. Okay, I'm going to leave that answer as is. Then let's find the volume of the smaller cone. So volume 2 is exactly the same as volume 1, but just different values. So a third pi r squared h equals a third times pi times the radius, which is now smaller. Our radius is, so our diameter here is 6, our radius will then be 3. So let's call this radius 1. Radius 2 is 6 divided by 2, which equals 3. So I'm going to put 3 squared in here. And then we're going to times by the height. Now we don't know the height again, so we're going to have to find the height from here to here by drawing another triangle. So let's go down a bit, draw another triangle, and calculate the height of this one. Okay, so our slant height here is 5, our base is 3, and our height, let's name it h2. This one being h1. Sorry for changing the notation on you guys all the time, but I'm going through this as we go. And then the next one, you do the same thing as you did previously. So h2 squared, we're using Pythagoras theorem. You're going to do the hypotenuse squared minus 3 squared, which equals 25 minus 15, which equals 10. 25 minus 15, yep, equals 10, so h2 squared. And then I'm going to continue here. H equals root 10. Okay, I'm going to leave it as root 10 and then substitute that in. So let's substitute root 10 in here. Okay, hopefully you followed that. So let's put all of that together. We're going to have 9 root 10 pi over 3, because 3 squared is 9, and then we're going to root 10, and then I'm going to put that over 3. And we can divide that 9 by 3, and that's going to be 1. So it's going to be 3 root 10 pi. in exact value. Okay, so our total volume then, we don't add it in this case, we are now minusing it. We're going to minus the larger cone by the smaller cone. Okay, I'm going to go on to another page. Okay, so we're going to minus 96 pi by 3 root 10 pi. Okay, I'm going to take the pi out. Can I take, yes, I can take 3 out. I'm going to take 3 out as well as a factor, okay, because I can divide 96 and 3 by 3. It's going to be 32 minus root 10, and we can't simplify that any further. So that is our answer for the total volume. Okay, so this one was a relatively hard example. Okay, but none of the ones in the Google Forms will be this hard. Okay, I just thought I'd go through a hard example so that you have the notes in your book for when we get back to school. Okay, if you have any questions about the example or the questions that you're going to do, please let me know in Jamboard. Okay, good luck with the questions.